My name is Tammy Chambers. My number is 0399347. This is my perspectives and / perception speech. If a doctor, lawyer, or dentist had 40 people in his office at one time, all of whom had different needs, and some of whom didn't even want to be there, and were causing trouble, and the doctor, lawyer, dentist, without any assistance or help from anyone, had to treat them all with professional excellence for 9 months, then he might have some conception of the classroom teacher's job. That's a quote from Donald D. Quinn, who is apparently, he has a lot of things on the internet that are very influential and stuff in promoting teachers and everything. My speech today will be talking about being a teacher. We'll learn about the socioeconomic statuses, the culture, and the conflicts within the different teachers and student realms. First off, the socioeconomic class of the co-workers, your fellow workers. When you graduate from college, after becoming a teacher, usually you roughly start in Nebraska here about $30,000 a year, and if you stay into it for a while, you can make up to $45,000, depending on how much schooling you have, if you are a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and so on and so forth. So there makes that your co-workers have pretty much the socioeconomic class as you do, because everybody makes roughly about the same amount of money. For students, that will vary greatly, because you will come across some students who come from a wealthy background, some students who come from like the middle class, or some students who come from the low income or the poverty level. It all completely depends on where you teach at. If you teach in an area where there is a lot of poverty, like the school is in the poverty zone areas, then you're going to have more students in those poverty zone areas too. For our culture, for myself, I am a white Caucasian woman, which at this point pretty much is the vast majority of teachers in elementary school areas. If you get up into the middle school or the high school, you will find a lot, or a few more, white males that are teachers too. So there's not a lot of diversity, at least here in the town that I live in, which is a small town. If you go to the bigger towns, you'll probably have a little more diversity, but still, all in all, I think for the most part, the most teachers out there are white Caucasian men and women. We do vary different in ages. There's teachers can be anywhere from the age of 25 all the way up to 60, like before you retire and right after you graduate. There will be diversity in religion within teachers, because you have different type of cultural backgrounds. You have different types of religious backgrounds, or your sexual orientation backgrounds, or just your beliefs in general. For students, it's going to depend. For here, again, in the town where we live, my family and I, we have a small area, and the vast majority of the students here are all Caucasians. We have very few African American students, or Hispanics, or Chinese or any of the Oriental areas there. There's not very many students here from those areas. If you do go to Grand Island or the bigger towns here, you will find a much more diverse backgrounds there, which I think is good. It's good to have lots of different cultures, and so students learn about other too. You just have to make sure you keep up on what is proper etiquette around those students, so that way you don't offend them on accident if you don't know their culture backgrounds. Or also to know, I think sometimes you can come into a situation where you will have students that only speak Spanish or something to that area, which I think could cause a little bit of problems. I know in the beginning of school they're allowed to have interpreters with them for a little while, and thankfully young students learn quickly, so that's helpful, but that would cause some conflicts for a teacher themselves trying to teach the student English, how to speak English, and teach them math and all the other, information that they need to know to go along with it. So that would be quite difficult, and you want to make sure you don't say anything to offend those students. For conflicts, pretty much every job has conflict. No matter where you work, you're going to have conflict with your job. You are dealing with students, and specifically where I would like to work would be with the littler students. So these children haven't even learned how to really cope with conflict. They don't know how to deal with it, so you'll have to teach them that. And as a teacher, I'm sure you'll also have conflicts with other teachers or with students themselves, or even administration. Conflict is part of life. You just have to learn how to figure to work around it and get through it and maintain those positive, healthy relationships that everybody needs to have. One of the main reasons that I wanted to become a teacher was to be a positive influence on students and children. My goal is to teach the students in a way that they want to learn and they want to come to school, and hopefully to inspire them and just really like them to learn to love to learn. Anyway, so we have learned so far today about the socioeconomic statuses of the teachers and the students. We've also learned the different culture backgrounds and different conflicts that you come across in there. I think the main point that we need to learn from today is that teachers do not have an easy job, and they deserve our honor and respect. Thank you.